back to the trading desk. We've got a great show ahead. We've yet got Davis Smith of the Oxford Hotel Group talking about the new boutique hotel opening here. But Dave, we were having a really good conversation about what happens in volatile, tough markets like we've been in, and we will continue to be in them. So one of the things that we were talking about, there's many types of financial advisors, planners, brokers out there.
Yeah, they all come under different names, and I think it can be confusing at times for people.
And it is. There's guys that are out there for fee only. There's guys that are out there for commission only. There's advisors that are somewhat insurance based, but they call themselves financial advisors. So you really need to ask the right questions, I think, when you're sitting down with the person and talking about that.
Right.
But one of the things you and I keep coming back to is this. I think the industry that we are a part of tries to make it more heady and more difficult than it really is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I was actually talking to a friend of mine on Friday night after we played soccer. We were having a few cocktails, and he goes, "I just don't want to be bothered with it." And I said, how can you have that attitude? He goes, "Well, it's just way too." I said, "Well, are you willing to spend an hour or so a month, maybe just reading a good quality newsletter that will give you some advice?" Well, I'd do that.
Yeah.
So that's all you need to do.
Right.
Open a discount brokerage firm. I think there's that subservient attitude here, and for most investors, it's like, well, my advisor knows better than me. Well, I would probably say that maybe 95% of them don't really know any more than you do.
Right.
They just kind of have that gift of gab, because as you and I both know, most investment advisors are really there to do one thing, and that's gather assets.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of running their business.
Right.
But you have to have an advisor who's also market savvy, who can get you in and out of the market, not on a day-to-day basis,
Right.
but on a
Macro.
longer-term basis that makes sense, so you avoid these big downturns that we had in the
Yeah,
market.
and again, address them up front, which is part of it. You've got to get involved and understand that. I agree with you. Most of these guys are fantastic asset gatherers. That's what they're paid to do. They get paid
that's
to
a key part of
collect
any
those
business.
assets. But there are firms, there are money firms out there that have two arms, if you will. One gathers, the other actually
manages.
deals with the managers,
And that's
a
exactly-
good scenario.
that's a great
That's
scenario.
a good scenario. So.
And I think to go even further into that, if you're meeting with an advisor who's commission oriented, again, that doesn't mean you're not going to get good service, but you're paying a lot for something you don't need to. I think the best way to go is to go, if you can find a registered investment advisor who just charges a flat fee, and if their performance is decent, that may not be a bad option, but I'll take it one step further. I think you yourself at home can be your own investment advisor.
Yeah,
if you're willing to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, again, I think people spend more time on their vacations and planning their vacations than they do their health care, their financial situations. So, if you spent that same type of effort and time that you do finding the best deal and finding, the value in the hotel and the rooms, as you do with your investment, and it's really not that much time when you get down to it.
It's not much time, and I realize it might be mundane at first, but then when you see the results, or you see the fact that you didn't get clobbered in the market over the last year, then it will become exciting.
Well, and it can be fun.
Well, I think it's fun.
Yeah,
but a lot of people
you and
get
I think
intimidated by it.
You and I think it's fun, but it's the same reason why you go play blackjack. You put down 100 and it turns into 120. That's pretty fun. You just bought yourself lunch.
There's an element of risk, an element of luck to it. So. There's one graphic I wanted to show you, the folks at home, if we can we'll go to the next one actually here. And I think, you yourself, I just mentioned this, you guys at home can be your best financial advisor, because here's the key thing. Nobody cares more for your finances than you.
Right.
And as well as intentioned as most investment professionals are, it's not their money on the line.
Right.
Oftentimes. And there are plenty of good newsletters out there that you can buy for $200, $500 a year that are going to provide you decent investment advice and help you avoid the pitfalls that we've seen over the last year. I myself, you as well, we both have advisory services where we can advise clients on not only structuring their portfolios. I do it for foreign currencies. You do it for some shorter term trading in terms of futures. We can bring up some information if you guys want to contact us. I mean, you've heard us on the television for the last 3 years giving decent advice.
Let's cut to a break here, and we'll talk about that when we come back, because there's some definite, there's some services out there I think that people could be made aware of.
When we come back, we're going to have Matt's interview with Davis Smith of the new Oxford Hotel in downtown Bend. You're watching the Trading Desk on COTV, Channel 11.